think you should, yeah.
Hello everyone, this is Chinmay from Make Clinic. Welcome back to our show. Every time we are showing you some of the other tip, trick and replacement repairing. I hope you're enjoying. So here we are with the bike and my client is saying that these shocks are totally hard. I'm getting a lot of problem, backache, spine issue. My co-rider is having a lot of problem, lots of complaint from rider and co-rider. So what's the remedy? This bike is pretty much old. The system what they have given, I'm talking about the rear shock absorber, it's pretty old. Now do we need to repair this? No, because what happens generally, the resilience of the spring may go on toss. The hydraulic or the oil which is there inside may have some, it may be degraded or something, or the gas, the nitrogen gas which is filled up by the company may have some problem. This particularly having one kind of a balloon inside this canister. These shock absorbers are particularly refillable, but since they have changed they have implemented the shock absorbers because of those reasons only. So I would not recommend to refill. I can do that. There is a tool company used to provide this kind of a tool. It's an injection. So they used to provide such kind of a tool to refill the gas inside the canister. But we do not know what is the condition of the canister. The canister may, I mean, this rubber balloon, the balloon may have some cracks or something. So I don't want to take any kind of a chance because this may create a lot of health issues. So I want to replace it instead of repair. The repairing was something like this. You have to remove the screw, right? If you remove the screw, they used to give some one needle over there, and you have to like do like this way, just like normal injection, the pump, right? The pump used to show me the gauge used to show me how much gas I am refilling. Generally, I'm not going to use it. I'm just showing you this tool. Generally in the air 70% of nitrogen is there, so we used to fill this nitrogen in the workshop like this way, but company used to fill pure nitrogen. So now I'm going to replace those shock absorbers. Which are the shock absorbers we will be requiring now? Those shock absorbers. If you look at the shock absorber, what is the difference? You can see here there is a vent for filling the air or the nitrogen, but in this case, as I said, they have implemented the design for those reasons only, to make it soft. So there is no hole over here or the vent over here to refill the gas. So you cannot refill those shock absorbers. Mainly, more important thing, in India, generally we have seen everywhere those automotive repairing markets and all. Those people, these people keep on repairing those shock absorbers. I recommend don't do that. If you do that, then we do not know what is the oil they are pouring inside the shock absorber, what kind of a grade, is it really compatible for the shock absorber or not, we do not know. So don't play around with your health. So it's better to replace those shock absorbers rather than repairing those shock absorbers. At the most you can refill the gas or the nitrogen, but that also I'm eliminating. I'm just going to replace the shocks because this vehicle is giving me tremendous amount of shocks and passing through the shock absorber towards the co-rider and the rider. Now for this, first of all, of course, we'll be requiring shock absorbers that I have already collected from the market. 17 mm socket and 21 mm socket you will be requiring for these things. Pneumatic gun, ratchet just in case if you require. 15 mm open end spanner. I have kept handy this 17 mm ring ratchet as well, just in case if things are not accessible to me. So I'm just keeping it with me, and of course I'm keeping either rust off or the Zurich. Reason, when I'm going to refit those things, I'm going to inspect if the bolts are rusty or something. Temporary, I'm going to use this. Later on, I'm going to open those bolts and then again going to retight. Just in case if the threads are fine, then I'm going to apply Loctite, or else don't do that, because if the bolts are gone, we do not know the condition right now. That is the reason I'm not going to apply anything right now, right? So I'm just keeping all those things handy. Now, first we'll remove this portion. Now in the bullet, particularly if we are talking about, this side is completely empty. This stay, the mudguard stay, is completely empty. But LH side, the left hand side, if you look at the LH side of the stay, That is basically stay come sari guard, which is the biggest problem. In the bullet, if you want to replace these shock absorbers, you will have to remove those things, those stays from the bottom side. So right hand side shock absorber you can remove easily, but the left hand side has got some problem. But right now I'll show you first right hand side, and then I'll go to left hand side and I'll show you how to replace that. Both are having little bit different procedures. So first of all, I'm going to remove this. So for that, I'm going to prepare my gun. So I'm going to prepare my gun. Here you will be requiring 17 mm socket, and from the back side 15 mm. Remove all the washers. This is a dome nut. So the top portion is already dismantled. I kept it like this way in loose condition. Now, as I mentioned some time back, the problem, do I need to apply this rust off or not first of all? As you can see here, this stud particularly is completely rusty. So here we will be requiring rust off for the time. Later on I'll open it up again and then I'll apply the Loctite. So first, make the things loose. Okay. Now I can't remove this shock absorber. Though I have kept it in loose condition, so I can't remove. So for that I'm going to remove the lower end of the stay. Right. Now I can expand this one. So this way I can remove the shock absorber. Okay. This bolt got stuck up, so I am going to remove this. I am using blunt screwdriver and the rubber mallet. Slightly going to hammer this. Okay. So we have the bolt outside. Now this shock absorber is out. Keep it aside. Okay. So this one you can place it very easily. That's what I'm saying. The right hand side is very easy. आपका जो right hand side है बहुत easy है, लेकिन left hand side में आपको बहुत तकलीफ होने वाली है. So पहले जो हम चीजें निकाले हुए थे वो हम वापस लगाएंगे. Little amount of only rust off you have to apply. Then put those things back on the bike. So now you're done with the fitment. Okay. Now the upper one you have to hold from both sides. Okay. So this is how you have completed your right hand side. Now I'm going to show you left hand side. So now we are on the left hand side of the bike. हम दाएं हाथ पे आए हुए हैं. Now we are going to remove the left hand side shock absorber. This is little bit complicated, not critical. I'm saying complicated because the sari guard is also fitted. and it's a stay cum sari guard, so you can't remove everything. So now what I should do? Deliberately I told you I kept this spanner with me because I was not sure about this side if I'm accessible for the pneumatic or not. So here I'm accessible, right? So now I'm going to apply this force now. I'll have to apply this anti-rust over here as well because I can see rust is there. Now the top bolt I'm going to remove. That I'm accessible, so I guess I can use my pneumatic. In this case also, you will have to remove this stay because the shock absorber, even if I try to, it won't come out. So let's remove the stay. So now I can expand this, right? So if I expand, there is no structural changes because it is just for temporary purpose. Now I'm going to remove this shock absorber from the bottom side. So it's not coming out. So for this, I will be using long screwdriver. As you can see, it's very complicated because I can't put my hand inside because it's too long way, but still I'll try my best to remove it. I'm just going to hammer this. Okay, so I have removed the upper shock absorber. Now you can see I can't remove this. Now for that, what I'll do is like, okay, it's very simple. This is the reason that this portion you have to do it different way. Otherwise what happens, it becomes very complicated. You may get stuck up. So that's why I fitted this right hand side shock absorber first. So now I can hold, the right hand side shock absorber is holding my swing arm and the wheel assembly, so it's not lowering down right now. So right hand side first, if you do, then it's good for you. Now there is a problem over here. As you can see, this bush is got stuck up, so I'll be requiring some other tools. Now this is stuck up, so I'm going to remove this bush with the help of this voice plier. Voice plier is basically, or the grip plier. Once you make it tight, as you can see, once you make it tight, it holds for till you open the lock. It holds for a long time and it has got a very tight grip. So I'm going to remove this one now. So the bush is out now. So there is only bare stud. Now we are going to put this or install this shock absorber. Use the bottom one first because so you can expand. Okay. So it becomes easy. You can expand this little bit. You don't need to expand too much, otherwise this will get bent. Now I'll refit this footrest because I'm done with that job. So we will have to align because this hole is not matching. So I'll just, okay. I'll put the bottom one first, but before that I'll just apply some anti-rust on the, I'll have to hold from the back side of this bolt with the help of open end 15 mm and 17 socket. Here I can't use this, I mean there is no accessibility, so I can't use my pneumatic, so better to use this ring ratchet. Okay, so we are done with the fitment of this shock absorber, right? So first RH side you have to cover and then LH side you have. So I did that left hand side, right hand side, normal tightening, all the fitments we have covered. Now I have to check whether the unit what we have fitted or the spares what we have fitted is within the torque limit or not. So this is the torque range what I am going to use. Now I am going to set the torque at 4 kg. This 3 kg. This 4 kg. Remember, torque is very much important all the time. So I'm going to use my torque range 4 kg according to the company. Okay. Till you get the click sound. So I have applied 4 kg on this upper nut. The lower nut is also same, as you can hear now. So 4 kg for the bottom. Same way we are going to apply on the other hand, that is left hand side. I'm just going to apply this torque range 4 kg. As you can hear, click sound. 4 kg applied on this upper bolt, upper nut. Now, so the lower bolt or the nut of the shock absorber, we are going to apply the torque. As you can hear the sound. That means I should not over tight the nut, otherwise this will get damaged. So they have specified all those numbers in the manual which we have to carry, because if you do excessive tightening, those nuts bolts will get damaged. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the video.